Hey guys, Jimmy Graham here. It is January 1st, so Happy New Year. This morning, there was a terror attack in New Orleans early this morning. I believe it might have been late last night, but the news hit early this morning about, obviously, the first day of the year. At least 10 dead, at least 35 injured is what I've heard. We said this, I believe, was on a podcast or maybe an interview a couple weeks ago. And I don't know that this is connected or this is going to continue or whatever, but I said it this way, is when I put on my bad guy hat, like a lot of people have to, including law enforcement and military and just, I think, common sense people, I wouldn't have attacked us when we were in turmoil, when we were in an absolute mess and doing damage to ourselves. If I'm looking through a bad guy's lens, I would not have done anything. It's like, hey man, they're killing themselves. Why, like with this transgender race, like anything that you can use to pit America against America, on a downward track, like while you're circling the drain, why would an adversary waste any energy trying to take you out and push you down the drain? Just sit back and, with popcorn and watch. Now that there's a new trajectory, I believe that all enemies, foreign and domestic, I think we really need to pay attention to foreign enemies, but now those are domestic, meaning they're here. So yes, there's always a possibility of some external entity coming in to America. But one already was allowed in, like with a red carpet through the southern border, right? So now what was foreign is now foreign on domestic soil. So we just got to think about that kind of stuff. So don't ever forget that the world hates us for what we value. Just that evil hates Jesus Christ, period. So wherever this country was developed with Judeo-Christian values and ethics, evil hates that. The most innocent form of Jesus Christ on this planet is children. Evil hates children. So it hates innocence. So the most innocent form of Jesus Christ on this planet is children. So that's something that we really need to understand. Today's resolution, today's devotion is called Resolutions. January 1st, from John 21:15, when they had eaten breakfast, Jesus asked Simon Peter, Simon, son of John, do you love me more than these? The underlying portion, so this is kicking off a new year. This is the perfect time, by the way. This is the perfect time to get this. Go to Amazon right now. What was it on the 1st? It took a couple of days. It doesn't matter. Like at the beginning, I get to flip from December 31st back to January 1st, and I'm already highlighting back. Last year, for whatever reason, I started the year with underlining. This year, it's highlighter. So highlighting some new things and then some of the same things that stuck out this year on January 1st, right? So what I highlighted this year on January 1st is if you truly love him, you will obey him. If you really love God, you'll obey him. It's like, yeah, I kind of believe in him. Well, do you? Because if you really wrapped your head around what is the creator of the universe, it is a divine design. There is intelligent design in everything, which leads to God. And if you believe in God, meaning define believe, if you truly believe in him and love him, you would do what he says. Jesus does not need your resolutions, your recommitments, or your promises to try harder this year. Jesus, to be quite frank, Jesus does need you, and he doesn't need your money. You honor God, and I'll go a little bit further down. Jesus asks for your love. So he asks you and invites you, and asks you for your love and invites you into his, and that's what you're designed for. But because of free will, you don't have to accept it, right? So it's just, I'm going to make a resolution. I'm ready to recommit. That's all fine as unto the Lord. If it's not as unto the Lord and you're just trying to check a box, it's probably going to fail pre-February like it did last year. Or if you commit something and say, hey, we're going in and I'm going to do this, not look at me, I'm suffering. It's a commitment to enter that kind of sacrifice to remind you to pray, to remind you of the gratitude of the things you're grateful for. That's something that's sustaining and that can live on throughout the year. A true give it to God, say, please take this from me, then he does. And then it becomes an amazing thing that you see long-term, but it's not short-term, immediate gratification. It's delayed gratification. If you truly love him, your service for him in the new year will be of the quality that he deserves. So God deserves a certain kind of loyalty, allegiance, respect, all of that, reverence, all of that. And if the closer you get to God, the more you realize, wow, this isn't just some buddy named Jesus. It's not fire insurance like some people think of when they talk about making a commitment to the Lord. I think a lot of men have lost their purpose. My calling, my unique ability, I would say, is twofold. One, pursuing the hearts of men. I say women, you're invited, but I am focused on men because that's my calling. And then the other thing is investing in our future, which is children. So be vigilant this year, heading into the year. I'm not a doomsday. I don't freak out and stare at the horizon waiting for Al Qaeda, but I do notice things when I see, like, this ISIS flag on this terrorist that went in and drove a truck into a bunch of people on a day that was known to be a very heavily populated place. This public space is a perfect soft target. Run in there as hard as you can, then jump out shooting. Right? It just makes sense when you put your bad guy hat on, and just saying we need to be ready for that. What's it going to take when evil shows its face is when bad men show up with bad intentions, good men with good values are the solution, period. That's the deal. So if somebody's like, well, I like to turn the other cheek. Well, okay, you can turn the other cheek and watch children die if you wish. I just don't think that's biblical. I don't think it's your calling, and I don't think it's honoring to God. To turn the other cheek because that's all you've got, that's called weakness. Turn the other cheek when you're formidable, that's called strength, right? Or even more so, to step in harm's way and defend innocent human life. Don't be so committed to the physical protection of people that you forget spiritual's number one. Then your mental well-being, then physical, because when that shows up, it's going to be needed. And it's, like I said, violence is going to have to be done well. So for what that's worth, commitments, resolutions, it's a good time at the beginning of the year to think and say, hey, I'm grateful for all of this. To take a second, take a deep breath and show gratitude, and then set out a plan for the new year, right? And if you get resolutions, I don't really care. I would just say, make sure that whatever you're doing, do it as unto the Lord, because the amount of gratitude and honor and dignity that comes with that can literally repurpose men. It's dangerous when dangerous men lose their purpose, when formidable men lose their purpose, it's dangerous. It's not good to be in neutral. It's not good to be bored. So get busy. I said, get healthy, then get busy, in that order. Man, I'm excited. I was talking to Jason Campbell this morning, many others today, just touching base, and I'm excited for what the new year holds. And I hope you had a great new year. I hope you're getting some rest with your family and then getting ready to gear up and head back into work as I am. So love you guys. God bless each and every one of you. We'll talk to you soon. Take care of one another.